Storytelling. What is the importance of storytelling in our life? If this is what a story is, then what is the importance of storytelling in our life?
Sharing,
Yes.
sharing experiences, emotions.
Sharing experiences, emotions. Okay.
Sharing the something problem we can solve.
Okay. It can provide a solution to a problem through a story. Okay. What
Evoke,
else?
evoke conviction.
Evoke conviction. Beautiful. So that's what Ashmita ji did. She went to Burj, she told the story of Burj Khalifa. And while she was narrating the postcard story, I also heard the wine story. And so I don't know which was more inspiring, the wine or the postcard. Okay. So that evoked conviction in us. Yes, I must also write a postcard. Yeah, it was inspiring. Wonderful. What else?
Keep poll kholdi by mentioning about wine. You know, sometimes you end up.
आपने मतलब भावनाओं में बह गए आप.
भावना में बह गए.
हाँ, और आपने दो बातें बता दी, उम्र भी बता दी और वाइन भी बता दिया. बस वाइन का ब्रांड नहीं बताया आपने बस.
नहीं बताया.
Okay. Yeah. What else? It evokes conviction. It solves problems. What else? What is the other? What is the other importance of storytelling? Monica ji, Harish, Ivan, Piyush. If you can't speak, you can put it in the chat. Ruzina, any other angle you can think of?
No, as what they said, only I think everything is like, you can make it more relatable to the subject, and the audience also can relate and connect better.
Which are the two most amazing storytelling epics in our country? Mahabharata and
Ramayana.
And the Ramayana. So we have all grown up listening to stories from the Mahabharata and from the Ramayana. Yes,
Amar
Ashmita.
Chitra Katha and Chanda.
Amar Chitra Katha. Yes.
Chanda Mama and Amar
Chanda
Chitra.
Mama. Absolutely. Yeah, best way to connect with people is what Ivan is saying. Yeah, I mean, then there was this Chacha Chaudhary, you know, when we were kids. Then there was Archie's. Then there was Tintin. So these are all. So I think today is a day of nostalgia, no?
Yeah, Richie. What's that? Richie Rich. Then
Richie Rich. पहले
yeah.
हम पोस्ट ऑफिस गए, फिर अभी हम अमर चित्र कथा पे जा रहे हैं, अब महाभारत पे जा रहे हैं, रामायण में जा रहे हैं, टिंटिन में जा रहे हैं, चाचा चौधरी में जा रहे हैं,
Phantom, Tarzan,
Tarzan, wow.
Yeah.
Jataka Tales,
Jataka
Panchatantra.
Tales. Panchatantra. I have a book on Panchatantra tales. So it's incredible. I mean, so storytelling is used to put children to sleep and to keep adults awake. So when you tell a story to a child goes to sleep peacefully. But to keep an adult awake in a session like this, or in public speaking, the recipe that is given to be a great speaker is always to tell a great story and to keep on telling stories.
Yeah.
So, what am I going to do now? I'm going to tell you a story. Yes, Piyush is saying it helps give examples and it is easy to convince. Right? Thank you, Piyush, for that. So, are you all ready to listen to this story now? Because it's not only about listening to this story, it is also about presenting your views on how the story was narrated, because we are learning the art of storytelling. So are you all fastening up your seat belts? Yeah, and you're sitting straight and you are curious and you are deeply engaged and interested. So give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you. So here is the story. Now, what you need to do while you're listening to the story intently is to watch how the story has been narrated and then to give your views on the narration of that story. Okay? Any clarification on this activity? We are good to go? Okay. So, this is the story about a king and his palace. A king built a beautiful palace. And he was very proud about that palace. He felt very proud about the creation of that palace. And he was convinced that this palace has no flaws. So he invited the entire kingdom one day to come and see the palace. And he threw open the gates. And he said, come inside, see the palace. It is a flawless palace. If you find any flaw, then tell me and I will immediately rectify it. But chances are that you will not find any flaw. So the entire subjects, all his subjects from the kingdom, one day they came to the palace and they were given a guided tour of the palace. And everybody was asked, how do you find the palace? And they said, wow, what a palace. Amazing. You are a great king. Do you find any flaw in this palace? They said, no, there is no flaw. Which subject will take the risk of telling the king that there is a flaw in the palace? So they all said there is no flaw in the palace. And the king was very happy and satisfied. However, one thing disturbed him. And what was that? There was one saint, a fakir, who lived in his kingdom in a small hut. And he was very popular in that kingdom because everybody went to him for satsang, to take advice. He did not come to see the palace. So the king wondered why this fakir has not come to see the palace. So he decided that I'm going to go to his house and ask him why he has not come and personally invite him and bring him to the palace. So the king went to meet the fakir. The fakir welcomed him, said, you are a big man. It's a very small house. I cannot offer you great hospitality. King said, that does not matter. I have come to ask you why you have not come to see my beautiful palace. The fakir said, what will I do, sir, coming to see your palace? I'm a small man, very happy with simple things. I'm a poor man. You see my house, it's just one small hut. What will I do by seeing your palace? He said, no, you have to come. He said, okay, I'll come tomorrow. And when the fakir went to see the palace the next day, the king welcomed him with all respect and told him, sir, please see the palace. I assure you, there is no flaw in this palace. But if you find any flaw, I will fix it. It's not a big deal for me. So the fakir said, okay, no problem. I will see the palace. And he was also taken on a guided tour. And he went around seeing the palace. And he noticed all the beautiful carvings, beautiful architecture, the wonderful kind of stone that was used, the beautiful decorations, how sprawling it was, how grand it was. And he expressed his deep appreciation to the king that you have really put your heart and soul into building this palace. So congratulations to you. The king accepted with great humility and then asked him a question. But sir, is there any flaw in this palace? I'm sure there is none. The fakir said, unfortunately, there is. The king asked, what is the flaw? I will immediately fix it. The fakir said, unfortunately, you cannot fix it. The flaw is such. So what are you saying? Nothing is impossible for me. The fakir said, no, two things are impossible for you. What are they? He said, the first thing is, you will not live in this palace forever. आप इस पैलेस में सदा रहोगे नहीं. And the second flaw is, when you die and leave this world, this palace will not go with you. और ये आपके साथ चलेगा नहीं. What is the first flaw? You will not live in this palace forever. And second, this palace will not go with you when you leave this world. The king reflected for a moment and fell at the feet of the saint and said, I'm so sorry about my arrogance. You are so right. These two flaws, nobody in this world can correct. I seek your forgiveness. Please teach me the path of enlightenment. That is the end of this story. Now, all of you have 30 seconds to reflect on the narration and share your views on how the story was narrated. What elements or techniques were used in the narration of this king and his palace story. If you are already ready with your observations, you can straight away start out.
It was very engaging, and we were like, no, as you already prepped us up and said, no, we have to be very listening and listen, and I'm going to ask you something. So we were all engrossed, like attentive and engrossed, and to know what was coming up. And we could actually, I can actually relate the whole story back to you. Like I heard it so well, and you put the questions to us. And you repeated like, 2-3 times, like, no, this was a thing that he said, the flaws, like what he said. So we at once reflected on that, the flaws, this was there. And it was more like a soulful connection, a spiritual awakening kind of thing, that you can only carry what is there in your heart and your good deeds. And you can't, your karmas, like you can't carry the material things. So very beautiful, beautifully related also, and very beautiful understanding of.
Okay. So what else? What other things that you noticed in the narration?
सब कुछ यहीं छोड़ के जाओगे, कुछ रहेगा नहीं.
That's the message. That's the message.
The narration.
Hari,
Yeah.
literally, I was a part of the subject who went to the court to see the place.
Okay.
So I was thinking from the ego point of view. But otherwise, yes.
So are you saying you were able to visualize you being there, actually entering the gate, seeing the palace?
Because what happened now, it's done with so much of efforts. So it will be, like what these people and Akshardham, how they make.
Yeah. Correct.
That way.
Okay.
So virtual tour.
Virtual tour. It was like a virtual tour. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that you noticed?
So you were descriptive, like your description was such, it made us go into that imaginative mode.
Correct. Okay. Wonderful. Yes. Anybody else? Monica, Harish, Ivan, you engaged with us 10 by 10. You built the subject very well. There were a lot of pause and voice modulation, guys. I was looking for that.
Okay.
Could you capture the power of pause? Could you capture the modulation? It was engaging. Thank you. Could you capture the emphasis? Could you capture the little bit of the drama that comes with it? Anything else? Are there any more observations? Rajneesh?
I think
Acting and drama, Piyush. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
Rajneesh.
Yeah. Your body language and expression, hand movements, it was all perfect, which were literally matching with your story.
Okay. Great.
My observation is,
Yeah.
during the shooting, mind is preparing the big palace, visualizing the beautiful palace in my mind.
Right. Okay. Wonderful. So what should be some critical elements that you should have in storytelling? What are the things you need to keep in mind when you are narrating a story? What are the elements you should keep in mind when narrating a story, when you're practicing telling a story? What are the elements?
I think it should be concise and precise, I think.
Concise and precise. Very good.
Yeah.
What else?
Emotions
Emotions. Absolutely.
and
Absolutely. Yeah.
Voice modulation and the
Voice modulation.
pauses, the silence, the
Yes.
Hari, literally we felt we have seen a fakir.
Okay. But you did not see the king. You saw the fakir.
Yes, because that fakir had a very powerful.
Role in this. Yeah.
Yes.
We should call saint.
Call Saint. Yeah. I actually heard this story first time in Hindi, which is why I use those Hindi phrases also, because they're very powerful. तुम इसमें सदा रहोगे नहीं और ये तुम्हारे साथ चलेगा नहीं. So in Hindi it connects even more powerfully because of the texture of the language also. Okay. Thank you so much for this. I'm going to now leave you with the definition of storytelling, which is copyright Hariharan Iyer, can be used with permission. Okay. So I have put together, based on whatever you said, you'll probably find some resonance in the definition. So I put together a little definition for all of you in terms of what is. Yeah, just a second. I am just sharing, trying to share the screen out here. Yeah. Excellent. Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
So how do I make it into slideshow? Why it's not going into slideshow? Yeah, got it. So you can make a note of this storytelling definition. And I'm going to read it out very slowly. And somewhere you will find resonance in what all you have observed about the story that I narrated to you. Storytelling, and you may repeat after me if you want, by unmuting yourself. Storytelling is the art of.
is the art of
So repeat after me rather than with me. Storytelling is the art of.
Storytelling is the art of
Art of
Bringing alive.
bringing
Bringing
alive
alive
bringing alive
The interest.
the interest,
the interest,
Inspiration.
inspiration,
Imagination.
imagination,
Curiosity.
curiosity,
Attention.
attention,
And admiration
and
and
admiration
admiration
of the listener
of the listener
by sharing
by
by
sharing
sharing
a compelling narrative
a compelling
compelling
narrative
in an engaging manner
in
in
an
an
engaging
engaging
manner
and through
and
and
through
through
controlled dramatization.
controlled
dramatization.
So the operative word in the last is control dramatization, not theatrical dramatization.
right.
Not like the old Tamil films where Shivaji Ganeshan was the hero, you know. He was a great actor, but full of melodrama because that was the need of the day. That was the script in those days. But lot of melodrama, even in some of the older Hindi films. A lot of melodrama. Here it's not about melodrama. It is about controlled drama. So I could have also said, so the fakir noticed two major flaws and he wanted to tell this to the king. We have lost the audience. Because now you have got into playing to the gallery. You have got into theatrics and it is not coming through naturally. So what should it be? It should be controlled dramatization, not over dramatization, or what we say sometimes, overacting. It should not be overacting. So what is storytelling? Storytelling is the art of bringing alive the interest, inspiration, imagination, curiosity, attention, and admiration of the listener by sharing a compelling narrative in an engaging manner and through controlled dramatization. So the homework for all of you is to by heart this definition and to use this as an anchor whenever you are narrating a story. So, the art of storytelling is about your ability to tell in such an engaging and compelling manner. The audience is sitting at the edge of its seat, and the audience is kept awake, and the audience is kept deeply involved and interested. So always when you want to make a point connected to a story, people will remember the story and therefore they will remember the message. So that's why we always say theories tell, but stories sell.
Theories tell.
So suppose the message was that the king realized that life is very ephemeral. That is the message. Suppose you say life is ephemeral. That's a message. It's theory. But now through the king and the palace story, we came to realize the power of this statement that life is temporary, life is ephemeral. So that it acquires a greater meaning when you connect it to a story. So always narrate stories, give examples. It's the best way to engage an audience. So the art of storytelling, to summarize, is about engagement, it's about controlled drama, it's about the pause, it is about modulation, it is about engagement with the story, the conviction with which you say it. So what you say is important, but how you say it is more important. So thank you very much for being such a great audience and participating in this little session on the art of story.
Hari, what was the word? Theories?
Theories tell,
Okay.
stories sell. So we have actually made an e-learning module on this called as Theories Tell, Stories Sell. So now feedback time. So let's start with what went well and then what could have been better.
Sir, can you tell me about I am the financial market in training?
Yeah.
Can you do this right now about my which type of study we can creating this way?
Sorry, I didn't get your question, sir. Can you repeat that question, please?
Yeah.